got a bit to learn about this 40. Righto, welcome back to the 40 channel. We're doing a little bit of clean up on some of the suspension gear. Now we're not going to keep the suspension gear, so what we're doing is we're doing something that I like to call a rattle can rebuild. So all we're doing is just doing a quick clean up. I've cleaned up all the springs, just hit them all with a big wire brush on the grinder, gave them a really good clean up, stripped all the paint off it, and gave them a rattle can rebuild as well. Just black paint. Just give these a quick clean up and then spray them with red paint. Hey, rattle can rebuild, they're done. But we've also got something a little bit more important we have to do today. I have to look at Andy Grace's motorbike and get it running because it's not running too well. So put the 40 on hold a little bit and we'll have a look at that. What do you reckon, Andy?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do that. Righto, now we've got the girls' motorbike up and going and they're happy. Let's start putting the springs and the axles and all that back together so that we can just continue to build this 40 off the ground. Get it back moving again. First thing I'm going to do is just run a tap through all these holes. So these are M8. Some of these holes I notice have a little bit of build up at the bottom here of your Miracle paint and your Raptor paint, so we'll just clean them out. Righto, so I've got my springs that have been rebuilt. Well, they've been rattle can rebuilt. As you know, I'm going to be putting new suspension under this later on. I'd love your comments on your suspension setups. I don't want it to be a total off-road hardcore thing. I want it to be comfortable on the road and enjoy driving this as a daily driver. So I don't want any crazy mad 4-inch hardcore spring setups from you guys. If you've got a nice on-road 40 series, especially a short wheelbase, and you think you've got the perfect setup, let me know what you've got, because that's where I'm going to be heading probably 12 months. But it's nice to know now and get a bit of research. It had the urethane bushes in there when I knocked them out. For the meantime, I'm just going to throw rubber bushes back in. They reckon that these give a bit of a smoother ride, but like I said, it could all change later on anyway. So let's chuck all these into the springs. Just get a little bit of grease. I bought this big tub of grease just for the bushes. No, not really, that's for when I rebuild the knuckles later on. So I'm just going to put a little bit of grease on these just to make it a little bit easier to get in. A little bit of grease. Might as well start everything off now, nice and easy. We won't do that up tight yet because we want to be able to move everything pretty easily. So getting these rear hangers on is a bit of a challenge. I'm telling you, grease is your friend. When it comes to this, lots of lubrication. Lube it up and hopefully it'll make it go on easier. Let's put lots of lube on the front of that, help the hanger slide over it. Just help support it all. So we can try and line these holes up to start with. Might make it a little bit easier in the long run. Throw that grease nipple back in. Maneuver that in place and just lower it down. What we want to do is we want to get the locating pins on the spring. We want to get, there's a hole here. We want to locate this onto the top of that spring bolt. Alright, that's lined up. I just throw the old U-bolts back on. Just going to rattle them up for the moment. Later on down the track, when we start putting all the drive line on that back on, we'll loosen them back off and readjust everything, and they'll have to be torqued back up to 70 foot-pound. Yeah! New shoes. I've already told you about these, but it's finally nice to put some new shoes back on it and get it back to a standard look. The only drama is that I've still got the old wheel nuts. They look ugly, so I'll just chuck 3 wheel nuts on for the moment, and we'll have to go get some new shiny ones, I think. Shiny. Oh, look how nice they look! Sometimes it's the small things in life that get you excited. Oh, crikey. After I get this done, I'm sure someone is going to post and tell me there's a much easier way of doing this. If there is, I'm more than happy for you to tell me when I go to do my suspension later on. Just working that rubber bush up under these. Now these are Snake Racing ones. I've no idea if they're any good or not. They were on the car when I got it. Oh, this is not happening. This does not want to budge. Hey, there we go. You little ripper. Whew. Let's tap that in with a dead blow hammer. We're home. Last one. That one went on heaps easier. I'll tell you what I did. Might be a bit naughty. I actually just lineaged a little bit off the end of the bushes and put a little bit of a taper on it so it would slide over it. Might not be the right thing to do, but you saw how easy that made it, and it's all getting replaced anyway. This is just to get it back on the road until all our weight's on it, and we'll get the full suspension set up on it. So we had wedges under this when I got it, so we're going to put those wedges back. Just lift that back there. Wedge in there. Now this can be a little bit confusing. I have no idea of other people's setups like this. You've got this nice big slot, which you would think would sit perfectly like that, but it won't line up. But they line up like this, and this is the way it was, because it was all damaged and smashed up from hitting rocks and stuff like that going in this way. So yeah, I don't know if that's right or not, but put it all back the way it was and worry about that at the later date. Righto, thanks for watching. So that's it. Our springs have had the rattle can rebuild, and the suspension's just sitting in place just so that we can continue on with the build. And as I've said a number of times through this episode, that we're going to upgrade the suspension to a full new kit. So I want a bit of feedback from you guys, your best setups or what you guys would recommend for something just cruising along the road, nothing crazy, nothing too hardcore. Just want a nice comfortable ride on the road, so I want to hear some of your feedback. Next time around we're going to strip down the front knuckle hubs, new bearings, new seals, new rotors, and we're going to make them look worthy of this 40. Anyway, thanks for watching, really appreciate it. Subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment, and you can also check out my Instagram page, 40 channel. Thank you.